All right, we got a 04 2500 HD 6 liter. I wanted to give a little bit of an update and insight on how to deal with some of these oil leaks and what we're dealing with on this one. So you can see we've got the transmission out, got it pretty well cleaned up. There's oil cooler lines and tranny cooler lines that hook up front here, and then they run here and then over here as well. We had pretty much every seal leaking on the underside of this and top side of this engine. 6 liter gas. It's getting a new oil pan, obviously. There's an O-ring right there in the pickup for the oil pickup that goes into the oil pump itself. Very well known fact that those O-rings go bad, they start sucking air. So while we're in here, I mean, it's like a few bucks. We're putting that in there, obviously resealing that. New oil and tranny cooler lines. It's gonna get valve cover gaskets up on top. The rear main seal was leaking so bad that that's the valley, or the protection plate for the torque converter. You can kind of see this truck's had oil from front to back here. You can see how bad it was leaking here, burning on the exhaust, obviously over here. We've got the oil pan off of it now. This pickup tube here will get pulled off. The O-ring I talked about there will get replaced, get reassembled, new gasket. There's a whole plate right here. Instead of just replacing the rear main seal, this gasket and plate needs to be taken care of. So we've got that. That'll be factory, genuine GM parts. Up here, also we have some leaks in the valley of the engine. The cam sensor's leaking a little bit. The oil sending unit's also leaking a little bit. That'll be taken care of. Move this light just a little bit. One of the things we're pretty much gonna marry into this repair is engine mounts. I hope the light doesn't wash that out. Okay, you can see these engine mounts are broken pretty bad. Obviously had oil on them for quite a few years. We have the front differential out of this. The differential typically sits right here. So now is the time to take care of that. So we're gonna get a couple of motor mounts thrown in there. The trans mount was pretty much ruined due to oil. Rear main seal. You can kind of see where that oil is running down from up here. I believe that's gonna be your cam sensor and oil sending unit right in there, along with just, you know, old engine. Gaskets got old and hard and started leaking and slinging grease. When we pulled the drive shaft out of it, we're gonna have some drive shaft work done. This rear U-joint was bad. Carrier bearing was blowed out and soaked with oil. We're gonna get all this stuff cleaned up, new cooler lines put in there, fix the oil leaks itself. We've got some work to do on the top side of the engine. Did a lot of work cleaning up that transmission to make sure that, you know, if we've got anything else going on, or, you know, we have something, I can tell the difference between the old oil leak and the new oil leak. So hopefully this helps some folks out. We started with a degrease and dye on this engine so we could for sure know where the leaks were, and pretty much most all the seals and gaskets were leaking. So hope this helps somebody out there, kind of gives you an update on where we're at and what we're doing. And we'll kind of see if there's a part 2 when we get this all done and get it back together.